What happens when everyone writes off your ninth pick as the wrong guy, and 5 games later, he's playing like he's been in the league for years? What happens when your supposed third wheel becomes the most efficient scorer in his 7-year career? And what happens when a franchise that's been mocked for tanking suddenly has the 9th best offense in the entire NBA? This is wild, Raptors Nation. 3 bombshells just dropped about your Toronto Raptors, and I'm about to show you why this rebuild isn't just working. It's accelerating faster than anyone predicted. What's up, Raptors Nation? Welcome to the only place where we celebrate our wins, analyze our growth, and never apologize for believing in this team. If you're new, smash that subscribe button, because what I'm breaking down today is proof that Bobby Webster's blueprint, yes, the man who took over as head of basketball operations after Masai Ujiri's departure in June, is working. Stick around until the end, because I'm dropping historical NBA precedent that'll show you exactly why other franchises failed where Toronto is succeeding. But first, let's talk about the rookie who's making believers out of everyone. Colin Murray-Boyles just put up 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in a 117-104 win over Memphis. His 5th NBA game. 5th. And here's what RJ Barrett, a 7-year veteran who's seen it all, said after the game. I don't think he's playing like a rookie right now. Let me paint the picture for you, Raptors Nation. November 2nd, Scotiabank Arena, 16,746 fans on their feet. The Raptors secure back-to-back wins for the first time this season, while Barrett, 27 points, and Brandon Ingram, 26 points, provided the firepower. It was the 20-year-old kid from South Carolina who stole every headline. But here's what nobody's talking about. Murray-Boyles wasn't even supposed to be starting. Jakob Poeltl, Toronto's veteran center, has been sidelined with lower back stiffness for 3 straight games. The rookie stepped into the void and delivered like a seasoned pro. One highlight? A lob dunk from Ingram that had the entire building erupting. Now let's rewind to draft night, June 25th, 2025, when Commissioner Adam Silver announced Colin Murray-Boyles. The internet lost it. Why? Kaman Maluak was still on the board. Twitter critics screamed, "Another Vision 6'9" guy. No spacing. Toronto drafted the wrong player again." Fast forward 5 months. Who's laughing now? Here's the insight nobody's giving you. Murray-Boyles is dunking nearly twice as often in the NBA compared to college. That's not just athleticism, that's scheme. Darko Rajakovic, Toronto's head coach, now in his 3rd season and contracted through 2026-27, has built an offensive ecosystem where the Raptors are creating easy looks for their bigs through ball movement, pace, and intelligent spacing. And Rajakovic, the Serbian mastermind who's authored academic articles about pick-and-roll evolution, can't stop raving about the kid. He's a very talented basketball player. He has such a good feel for the game. He's really good in his pick and rolls. It's not talked about enough how good a passer he is. That passing is the key, Raptors Nation. Murray-Boyles averaged 2.4 assists in college. He's already averaging more than that in his first 5 NBA games. He's reading defenses like Draymond Green in his prime, except with more bounce, more athleticism, and less ego. You want to know the historical precedent here? Remember when the Minnesota Timberwolves had Kevin Garnett and surrounded him with nobody? For years, KG was the only high IQ player on that roster. Minnesota kept drafting projects instead of ready contributors. The result? One Western Conference Finals appearance in 14 seasons. Toronto learned from that mistake. Murray-Boyles isn't a project, he's a weapon. And Bobby Webster, who officially took over as GM and head of basketball operations in August 2025 after a comprehensive search, deserves credit for identifying high IQ talent over potential. Barrett put it best. "I remember being a rookie. It was hard to figure it out, but he's playing physical. He's not afraid." And here's the beautiful part. Murray-Boyles credits his summer work, summer league reps, training camp, preseason for his seamless transition. He's not making excuses when he screws up. He's learning in real time. Here's my question for you, Raptors Nation. When Poeltl returns, can Toronto run both in lineups together? Can Murray-Boyles shift to the 4 and anchor small ball units? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're tracking every step of this rookie's journey. Hit that button now. Here's where the story gets deeper, Raptors Nation. RJ Barrett, the guy everyone assumed would be squeezed out when Brandon Ingram arrived, is having a career year, and he's doing it with the lowest usage rate of his entire NBA life. Let me break down the numbers. Barrett is averaging 20.4 points per game on 56% shooting and 37% from three, with a usage rate of just 22.5%. That's the lightest offensive load he's ever carried. His true shooting percentage? 64.8%, which would obliterate his career best if he maintains it. How is this possible? Simple. Barrett stopped forcing. Gone are the contested drives into triple teams. Gone are the tough mid-range pull-ups over rim protectors. What's replaced them? Precision. Paint-touching attacks, followed by crisp passes to open teammates. Catch and shoot threes in transition. Off-ball cuts that turn into easy finishes. Brandon Ingram said it himself earlier this season. I thought he was just a gunner. I thought he just shot the ball a lot. But watching his game and seeing him work, he's steady, scoring the basketball. That's respect from an all-star. Raptors Nation. The advanced metrics tell the real story. Barrett is shooting 73% at the rim this season, a massive leap from his career average. His free throw shooting jumped to 78.3% after bottoming out at 63% last year. And check this out. He's playing the best defense of his career, finally approaching league average defensive rating after years of struggles on that end. What changed? Two massive factors. First, Barrett didn't play international ball for Team Canada over the summer. He stayed in Toronto, grinding at the Raptors practice facility. Rajakovic confirmed. He put in a lot of work this summer. I do think he's a better shooter from the three-point line, and he's taking really good threes. He's not forcing anything. Second, Ingram's arrival took defensive pressure off Barrett. Teams can't load up on RJ anymore because there's another two-point per game scorer on the floor demanding attention. Barrett explained it perfectly. With Ingram coming here, shots are a lot easier for me. There's another threat out there that the team has to worry about. We're all kind of shooting the ball well, to be honest. Now, let me give you the historical context that changes everything. The 2004 Detroit Pistons. That championship team didn't have a single player average more than 17 points per game. But 5 guys scored in double figures every single night. They won because nobody cared about personal stats, they cared about winning. Barrett's embracing that exact philosophy in year 7 of his career. He said it himself after the Memphis game. It's year 7, being older, having experiences. It's really about the team winning. It's what the team needs. That's growth. That's maturity. And it's why Toronto's offense is ranked 9th in the NBA right now, despite all the preseason panic about spacing issues and too many ball-dominant wings. Here's the unique insight nobody's giving you. Barrett is becoming the NBA's best connector. He's not the primary initiator. He's not the bailout scorer. He's the guy who makes everyone else better by being in the right place at the right time, cutting when defenses collapse, relocating for open threes, and finishing in transition. That's the rarest skill in basketball, Raptors Nation, and Barrett's perfecting it right now. My question for you: if Barrett keeps this up and the Raptors make noise in the playoffs, does he make an all-star team? Is this the breakout moment we've been waiting for? Let me know in the comments. And before we move on, hit that like button if you're loving this breakdown. We're only getting started. All right, let's tie this all together, Raptors Nation. Because what we're witnessing isn't just 3 individual success stories. It's a systemic transformation. Toronto isn't just winning games, they're redefining their identity. Last season, the Raptors ranked 4th in expected effective field goal percentage because they were getting good shots and bricking them. They finished 23rd in actual EFG percent. This year, they're 7th in actual EFG percent. The shots are falling. Why? Because Bobby Webster and Darko Rajakovic built an offense around complementary synergy. Let me show you the ecosystem. Brandon Ingram is shooting 60% on pull-up mid-range jumpers and 43% on catch-and-shoot threes. He's the bailout bucket when Toronto's half-court offense stalls exactly what he was brought here to do in February's trade deadline deal. Scotty Barnes, the 2024 All-Star, who signed a $225 million extension, potentially $270M with Supermax incentives, has tripled his scoring volume as a role man compared to last season. He's finishing at the rim at a 79th percentile rate in transition because Toronto's running more and getting him downhill without needing to beat his man off the dribble first. Barrett is the connective tissue attacking second side actions, cutting intelligently, and finishing at the rim at a career-high 73% clip. And Colin Boyles? He's dunking twice as often as he did at South Carolina, which means Toronto's creating easy looks for their bigs through elite ball movement. This is textbook roster construction, Raptors Nation. You know who didn't do this? The 2010 second Sacramento Kings. They had DeMarcus Cousins putting up 27 points and 11 rebounds every single night and zero complementary talent around him. No spacing, no secondary creators, just Boogie doing everything while the rest of the roster stood around watching. Sacramento wasted a generational talent because they never figured out the ecosystem. Toronto learned from those mistakes. They're not asking one guy to carry the entire load. They're asking 5 guys to execute their roles at an elite level. Here's the unique comp that nobody's making. The 2014 San Antonio Spurs. That championship team didn't have a single 20-point scorer in the NBA Finals. But they demolished the Miami Heat's Big Three because everyone knew their role. Ball movement, off-ball cutting, defensive accountability. Sound familiar? That's Bobby Webster's blueprint, and it's working at an accelerated pace. Here's the positive insight that changes everything. Darko Rajakovic has the Raptors playing 6th in the NBA in total passes this season. They're running the fewest isolations in the league. They're generating the 3rd most cuts. This is a team-first system that maximizes talent instead of forcing stars to play hero ball. And Rajakovic, who's contracted through 2026 to 27 after the organization picked up his 4th-year option, this past offseason has earned complete buy-in from his roster. Players love him. Emmanuel quickly said, he has all the attributes to be successful. The will to win, the time you spend trying to be prepared, he's a step ahead of the game. Garrett Temple, the veteran forward, said, he's the guy that can bring this team back to where y'all were in 2019. That's belief, Raptors Nation. That's culture. Now here's my final question for you. Can this team make the playoffs this season, or is next year the real window when everyone's fully healthy? I want to hear your take in the comments right now. All right, let's bring it home, Raptors Nation. 3 major stories. 3 pieces of evidence that the Toronto Raptors rebuild is ahead of schedule and exceeding expectations. 1. Colin Boyles is playing like a seasoned veteran in his 5th NBA game, proving every draft night critic dead wrong. 2. Barrett is having a career year by doing more with less, embracing his role as the ultimate complementary star alongside Ingram and Barnes. 3. Toronto's offense is clicking at an elite level because Bobby Webster built a system where everyone thrives, not just the superstars. This isn't luck. This isn't smoke and mirrors. This is smart basketball executed at the highest level. You know what separates Toronto from franchises like Sacramento or Minnesota in their dark years? Intentionality. Webster learned from the league's mistakes. He studied the Spurs dynasty. He watched how Golden State built around complementary pieces. He saw how Miami maximized role players in the Heat culture era. And now, he's implementing all of it in Toronto with a Serbian coaching genius who has 29 years of experience and zero ego, a roster full of high IQ players who buy into team basketball, and a fan base that's been starving for hope. Raptors Nation, this is what the light at the end of the tunnel looks like. This is what happens when a front office makes patient, calculated decisions instead of panic moves. This is what happens when a coach builds culture before chasing wins. So here's my final challenge to you. What's the ceiling for this team? 1st round playoff exit, 2nd round, conference finals? Drop your prediction below and don't be shy, because this roster is only getting better. And if you made it this far without subscribing, I don't even know what to tell you. Hit that red button. Turn on notifications. We're covering every game, every development, every twist in this Raptors journey because WE the North doesn't quit and neither do we. Keep repping that red and black, Raptors Nation integrity, intelligence, and ice in the veins. That's the Toronto way. I'll see you in the next one.